the speed of light, it affects time in some way. And there might actually be a way. I don't know that you could go back 30 years or go ahead 100 years, but there might be ways you could affect time itself. And I've been trying, I don't have that much time to study it, but if I had more time, I'd really read up more about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can the Hulk use Thor's hammer?
The Hulk used Thor's hammer.
Oh, I don't think so, no. Oh, no. Thor's hammer is enchanted, you foolish person. Thor is a god. The Hulk is just a guy, a big, strong guy. It's funny, when I wanted to do the Thor book, everybody was saying to me, you've already got the Hulk and you've got, I think, Galactus. I don't remember the order of them. They said, what can you do that's even bigger? Maybe my publisher said it to me. And I figured, gee, we haven't done a god. So I figured, let's see, everybody knows the Roman gods and the Greek gods. People aren't that familiar with the Norse gods. So I decided, oh, you know, one thing that they don't do in the movie, and they don't even do in the comics anymore, when I started Thor, I made him a regular human being, a regular person who finds the hammer. And there's a thing that says, if you be worthy, you'll be able to lift it, or some corny thing like that. And for some reason, he was worthy, and he lifted it. And he was lame. He was a doctor, that's it. And he had a cane. And when he tapped the cane on the ground was when he had to become Thor. And the hammer, the cane turned into the hammer, and he turned into Thor. And when he wanted to go back to Earth as the doctor, he hit the hammer on the ground, it turned into a cane, and he became Doctor whatever name I gave him. And he had a nurse that he was in love with, but he was also in love with Sif, the goddess. And I was going to make it way later on at the end of the series that we would learn that Sif and the nurse were really the same woman, and Odin had put them there to test Thor's loyalty or something. I had such plans for that book, but after a while I stopped writing it and we never got around to it, and that's the story. That was a long story, sorry.
I was just given the 5-minute signal, or he was trying to high-five me. I don't know which. Let's go over here.
Hi, Stan. It's great to meet you. Thanks for everything. My question is, Amazing Spider-Man 36, the 9/11 issue, is a really touching issue, really emotional. Is there any issue or any comic you created that tugs at your heartstrings?
Any issue?
Any issues that you've created, or issues, period, that really tug at your heartstrings, emotionally important to you?
A little bit with the Silver Surfer. Because I tried to, the various things I had him say, I tried to make them as philosophical as I could. So he would be like an alien commenting about the culture he found on Earth and the way the people on Earth behave. And he couldn't understand why we're so warlike and why we didn't appreciate our planet. And I threw in a lot of that stuff in the beginning when I was writing The Silver Surfer. So I think he comes closest to what you mentioned, which I've already forgotten.
Awesome. Over here.
My name's Hector Ramirez. First off, thank you, Stan, for contributing to comics the way you did. Big fan. Secondly, I would like to know, thinking back to when you first created your characters, how do you feel now about how they're represented in media?
Oh, I'm thoroughly delighted. They've become big hits, and they've made the whole world Marvel Comics conscious. So naturally, I'm excited and thrilled, and I almost can't believe it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over here, we're going to take maybe...
The amazing thing is they're putting all that work into the movies. I have nothing to do with the movies, and I get all that credit, and I love it.
Hi, Stan. This is a reference to Japanese comics with his manga.
Manga.
What he was referring to was the comic called Ultimo.
Ultimo, yeah, that's
And
mine.
you're in that comic, and I was wondering if they did a movie adaptation and they asked you to play in it, would you play in the movie?
Sure. I can't say no to anything that has to do with acting in a movie. I get a, in fact, tomorrow, no, what's tomorrow, Sunday? On Monday, I'm going to New York to shoot my cameo for the next Spider-Man movie. I have no idea what it is. They haven't told me, but I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm going to do it.
Out of all of your characters you ever created, which one was the most difficult for you to create?
Out of all the characters you created, which one was the most difficult for you to create?
Tell you the truth, they were all about the same. I mean, once I had the idea for what I wanted to do, and it wasn't that hard to write it, just had to think of the idea. I'm trying to think, were any ideas tougher to think of than others? Maybe the Fantastic Four, because in the beginning it was a little more complex. It took a little longer because it was the start of a new type of script for us, and I wanted it to get my publisher's approval, so I spent a little longer on that one. But no, once I had the idea, they were all pretty easy to do.
Yes.
What was your favorite superhero that you created?
Do you have...
I don't really have favorites. You know, it's so tough for me to... People sometimes say, what's your favorite book or movie? Or I don't know. There are so many things I like. And like with the Oscar Awards, I don't know how they can take one movie or one actor and say he was the best actor this year. Because what really happened was that actor got the best role to play. And there are hundreds of actors who are probably just as good, but they weren't lucky enough to land a role as good as the one who won. And the same with favorites are very difficult for me. I like the Fantastic Four for a certain reason. I like the X-Men for a reason. I like Daredevil. I like all of them. I don't really have a favorite. I don't know how to pick. Like books, I'm always asked what's my favorite book. There were hundreds of books that I've read. I've loved them all. I don't know how you can pick a favorite. I really don't. I admire people who can pick favorites. I don't know how to do that.
Is Stan your favorite?
I did not tell him to say that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Stan Lee
I'm
Q&A.
just getting started.
Thank you, Stan.